manova sale parole. Eliona della mosele perodas. Elia barona base valor. Oliero melo berenacedo. E se non veli amore non tolera. Elia barona le topa. Oliab, Anora no la benova, Lasalo, Elia belli maiane felona, Eva bombe, Elia marone belia meno cadesa, Elia rubenado. The Lord bless you, servant of God. There's an aspect of God you encounter, and all you can glory in is a suffering. So Paul could not talk about anything but the sufferings that he had been through just for Christ. That when you read the book of Philippians, as you gave us 3:10, when you go up a little, it speaks of things that Paul said that I call those things that people glory in as done so that I can have this Christ. When we are talking about achievement in the body of Christ, all we call of is for cars and the rest. But what have you suffered for him? What have you suffered for? Today, all we look up to, like he said, the pastor's shoe is nice. Ministry will be good. So even those that do not know what they are about, but there's a place we want to get to, and that all we can talk about is the suffering. There's a new civilization coming, which is Christianity. Christianity is not as we see today, but walk in the way that Christ did. Usa, kofele no oriane, shivelo. Today, America is not America going for money. America is a mission field. So if you are traveling to America, it's missions. It's missions. It's missions. We want to dwell with God, so intimate with him, that if you know him well, when it takes your suffering, you don't mind that I will go through for him. Paul and Silas thought that they were just praying and singing hymns in their pain. But they did not know that God was making a name for himself. When the earthquake took place, now the keeper of the guard of the prison came back asking, who is your God? Show me. Show me. Bible says when the children of Israel were at the Red Sea and God was parting it in two, he was making a name for himself. When they were on the sea and the storm arose and he stilled it, they began to ask, what manner of God is this? Who is this man? Can he be glorified at your storm? Can he be glorified at your rest? Can he be glorified at your prison? At your prison, at your prison. Those days when men will think of themselves so much. We don't mind what is happening. We'll stay here. The 4 lepers said, if we stay here, we die. If we go, we die. Bishop Oyedepo said, I would rather serve God, and when I get there, know that there is no God. And that is better than deny him here. And when I get there, he's there. It is not about programs again. It is about the souls you are able to affect. Souls you are able to affect. You might not look it, but if you give him room for intimacy and closeness, men can see your God in you. Men can see your God in you if you give him room. When the apostles tarried, when they came out, now when they see a man sick and they touched him, because in heaven there is no sickness. And he says, pray that my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Just as heaven is, we are to portray it here. So people are sick and we are running away because we don't even know our God. May God help us. May God help us. May God help us. Know him. Know him. When I traveled out, one young man came to me. I've been sharing the story because I did not know God could do something like that through me. He's been speaking of healing ministry. One young man came to me, sat beside me. It wasn't a church service. It was a rehearsal. That day, I don't know why I decided to go for that rehearsal. I sat down, he sat by me. He said, Mommy, can you help me? I said, yes. He said, a friend of mine is in the hospital. Do you know what the lady is battling with? Cancer. For 7 months, she's been in and out of hospital. Immediately he mentioned cancer. It was as if all my world was gone. Because I don't know the prayer to pray for God to answer. But anyway, I heard him pray. I just touched the young man, prayed for him as a point of contact to the lady. The next day, he receives a message from the lady. Everything that was a complicated matter in her had begun to die out, and the doctors were looking at sending her home the next day. He brought me the testimony. It's on my phone. All God needs is that somebody will stand in for him and just call his name. He sought for a man. He sought for a man. We are too many at programs, but not everyone is a man in the gap. Too many. Too many. But can he trust you enough that if somebody is sick, just to make your God know, you decide to pray for that person? Please, we are getting into times where the church is being separated from the chaff. His bride is being separated.